Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we're back with another slime video. And we just recently received the Demon Lord Leon's March quest. Okay, so they're not called skirmishes or whatever, they're just whatever they want to call it. This is a little bit different from the previous two because we do have a move out limit that is linked to the units that have special effects. So instead of, these categories getting extra buffs, but you can use literally everyone, now you are purely limited to using units only in these forces, of which, Dragon Dekai's got a whole bunch of Milims, Lycanthrope has, Carrion and his people, Ogre's Pride obviously has quite a few Ogres, Tempest Elite has a lot, but then Hyper Heart is pretty terrible. So you can only choose characters here. And if we take a look at the quest details and what Leon does, he lowers and nerfs oranges for 2 turns. And that happens multiple times, because you're like, oh, 2 turns, we can just kind of get around that. He does it like the first turn and then the 4th turn or something, so it happens quite frequently. And then at the end of turn 1 for you, he's going to lower your attack and lower your crit damage. So what I've found is that keeping your DPS unit in the back for turn 1 is probably the best way to go. And really, that's about it. He does heal himself a little bit, and does bind, and seals attack up. I haven't found that to be too much of an issue. Like, yeah, okay, you can't swap, but if you're running a decent team that can hold its own, I feel like you shouldn't have too much problem. And he's only got, 210,000 HP, and quite low defense. So he's not the most difficult thing in the world. So I think that most people should be able to clear him. Maybe if you're brand new, not Inferno, but definitely some of the lower difficulties that you can grind up. He does have a very low magic resistance, so if you want to bring a magic-focused team, you totally can. But because we can only use these categories, I have decided to bring a specific team. Very specific team. And that is not my farming team. It is a Milim team with Frey. Because Frey's watching over Milim, right? It makes sense. We've got Dark Milim, Earth Milim, Dark Anniversary Milim, Fantasy Milim, and then Fire Milim. Frey's converting to greens, and the first opening hand is 4 blues and 2 oranges, which means that both Dark and Earth Milim can convert those just fine. And then we've got this Milim for ult buffing if we get to that, Orb Change. We've got the Orb Change plus the attack and crit damage buff, and then Fire Milim to give more crit, I guess, in case we don't have Frey going. So it makes a whole bunch of sense, but if you click on and try and search for characters, obviously everyone who can't be used is all blacked out, so it does limit you, but there are quite a few units that you can use on this team. So we'll go through, we'll use this Milim team first, and then we'll get a little bit not quite Milim focused the next time. One other thing to go over are the missions. So we have 9 turns or less, 11 turns or less, 5 alive, once and then 3 times, and then 2 attack changing skills, 2 magic skills, 2 defense skills, and then a 6 combo of everything. So oranges, blues, and greens. So because the stage is built for a turn 1 orb change, we're going to get the blues immediately. And then we have Frey, who's going to get the greens. So we just really need to worry about the oranges, which are sadly nerfed. And then we also need the attack, magic, and defense skills, of which both Earth Milim and Dark Milim have defense skills. Everybody's an orb changer on this team. And then we have 2 attack skills right here, with Milim and, with Fantasy Milim and Fire Milim. So we're covered on all 3 of those fronts as well. So I found some pretty good success with this team. Let's go ahead and try it out. Alright, we made a cut because the first time I ran this for the video, it ended up going so terribly wrong that I was just like, we're not going to include that. We need a good example of a run here. So turn 1, we're going to orb change. We're going to send the Milims first because they get the extra damage because they are magic units. I realize that, Fire Milim and the Fantasy Milim in the back are physical, so they won't get that, but they'll still be able to do decent damage. So turn 1 here, At the end of his turn, we got the crit damage nerf and the attack nerf, which is why we didn't bring the 2 back Milims up front. But now we can, after we use some skills. So we've got the first defense skill here for 15 points. And every time we use a skill, it's stacking up the crit damage for Fantasy Milim, so we really want to use as many skills as possible, and most of them on this team are fairly cheap. So, let's do the Orb Change with Dark Milim, and then we'll get her out. That way everyone can have the crit, even though you're kind of nerfed. And then we'll get one more Orb Change, so we'll get this one for Fire Milim, convert one of those back. And then we'll get Frey going. And then that's going to give us a full hand right there. And we can use a defense skill and then this orb change to give us extra green damage. And there we go. So there's our 2 defense skills. We used 1 attack skill. We used like 4 magic skills. So just need to use 1 more attack skill after this and we'll be all set. So here we go. We're hitting these in the wrong order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There we go. We don't have a green buffer, unfortunately, but we're still going to do decent damage. Alright, 14-4 right there. Alright, and a cheeky counter, because why not? Alright, and then we got another Frey, so we can actually use the crit, or the attack and crit damage buff right here. After we use this orb change to get just more, more skills, more stacks on this Milim. And yeah, I think we'll run it like this. Call it good. We do have 40 more points though, so we could do something else. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. Let's use Frey, and then let's use the Fantasy Milim Orb Change again to get another 10% damage stack, and then we'll do this. So this should go a whole lot better now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, getting close to some ults here. We don't have another Frey next turn, which is unfortunate, but we're going to do decent damage here. So 15k on that one hit, so we're going to do about 30k. About 30k. Okay, we got some oranges, which will help us get some ults, except they're nerfed, so never mind. But we can kind of get out of that, because we have orb changers here. So let's get Fancy Milim out before she gets nerfed, because I don't want her nerfed. And then we'll do this orb change. And then sadly, I cannot use this Milim's orb change because it's just a little too expensive. But this will definitely get us another Frey, and then some. Which means that next turn, we're going to get binded, I think. But then after that, we can bring Fantasy Milim in, and we can do some good damage. Oh, no, we didn't get binded. Ooh, interesting. Okay, so you don't have the crit. No, hold on. What's this? Increased physical attack. Alright, how do we want to play this? We're only 43 points, so we don't have enough to use the ult buff right here. What do I want to do? I kind of want to bring you in for Earth Milim because you have 3 orbs. I think that's what we should do. Yeah, get out of here. Alright. And then we will bring in this Milim for this Dark Milim. Alright, so we're going to have another 40 points here. Crits for, the Milims that matter. Alright, and yeah, we'll do this. We won't worry about the ult buff. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this should be it. Should kill him right here, 20k. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 200% orb will kill. So, there we go. There's full hand of blues, full hand of greens. We got multiple attack skills, multiple magic changing skills. We used 2 of the defense skills, because that was both of the Dark and Earth Milim's skill right there. So there we go. That should be all the missions except for the orange turn and then the clearing it, 3 times, right? So let's move on to the next team. Alright, here's an orange focus team, mostly a fire team. Thankfully, we could use a lot of them. But we've got Fire Benny Maru and the free-to-play hero. We've got the free-to-play Xion to take care of the turn 1 orb change, and also to buff our crit damage that we can actually use. and then we're going to get the crits from Fire Milim, who we're bringing back, and then Velzard can steal some orbs for herself. She is a DPS, she is an AoE, but I think she'll work fine. And then we can also burn with 2 of these units. So, I mean, this might work, should work, question mark again. I don't actually know. We do need stamina. Been using a whole bunch of stamina pots on the Kaijin event, so we're getting kinda low on those, but I think it'll be fine for now. It's only around for a few more days, and then we can recover the stamina pots. But, alright, the game is slow again. Congratulations. Skip. We're going to keep Velzard and Milim in the back, so we're just going to run it with this this lineup turn 1. We'll use Shion's Orb Change after those get nerfed. So these are nerfed for 2 turns, so this turn and the next turn before we can use Toa. So just have to keep that in mind, that we're not going to get the most out of her just by spamming her immediately next turn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It'll allow us to build up to maybe a double Toa. Who knows? 39, okay. Decent, okay damage from Benimaru, not being, you know, with a fire support or a true DPS. That's a good hand right there. Too bad. Too bad I don't have a green orb changer, right? Though technically I do have Fire Milim. We could do that. So let's bring you in now for let's do you and then Fire Hero. And then we can use a stack of the crit damage buff from Shion. And then use blue orb change here to get 5. That'll give us a little bit extra. And this will give us extra ult gauge on the blues as well, because that's what Shion does. So we'll do that. Max Toa, pretty good. Don't want to use her quite yet, because again, the oranges are still nerfed. And then... okay, it works out to a decent hand right here. So, let's use the crit damage stack again. 45 points, alright. And then, now that the oranges are not nerfed, let's use Toa. Give us 40 points, give us a full hand of oranges. Alright, cool. And then, what we can do is use the attack buff here. And then we can use Hero's Giveaway. Alright, so let's do you in... cool. We could do the giveaway, or we could do... yeah, we'll do the giveaway. This will get a lot of orbs. All the orbs for Velzard, who has her attack buff now, who's going to have technically what amounts to an EX ult, and 1 stack of burn. Alright, I mean, that's decent damage right there. And 14-9. Alright, does he heal a little bit after this? Nope, just hits. Alright, so... do we keep Velzard up front now, or do we run it? I think the oranges are nerfed again. No, they're not. So we have 1 more turn where they're not nerfed. So let's get you up front, and then I think we'll just pile on the burn. So that's gonna make 5 greens, huh? And we can't really. Well, no, it'll make 4 greens. Yeah, we can do this, then we can do that, then we can burn. Oh no, hold on, the oranges are nerfed again. Oh, why didn't it show that on the other side? Damn it. Unfortunate. Why? Blue? Okay, well, I guess we're not going to use... I kinda wanted to stack that burn attack, though. Alright, let's just do that. We gotta wait out another turn of the oranges being nerfed. Alright, a little bit of burn right there. And, okay, there we go. So now the oranges are not nerfed again. So we can bring Velzard in for... Benimaru? Yeah. So she still has her attack and her AoE buff. No, she doesn't. She does not. So we have to use that. We've got 1 more turn of the burn, so I think we'll just smack him with this. 9,000 damage. Not the most, but it is something. So we'll get you in here now for Benimaru. And we don't have enough to use the crit buff from Milim. That's unfortunate. But we can use this again. So that's 2 attack skills right there. I don't think we have any defense skills on this team, though. We don't, so that's something to keep in mind. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gets another Toa, so we'll see. Velzard does 28,000. Definitely not the most damage right there. Would have been a lot better had we had the crit. And if I had paid attention again, I think he does heal now. There's a little bit of burn. Yep, so he heals for 31k, but we have 2 ults, but we are nerfed. And attack and pierce nerf now. But we do have a natural full hand of Velzard. And the oranges are still good. So let's go ahead and crit now. And we can use Toa again, and this should get us the W right here, because Milim is single target. He doesn't have his crit resistance, and we don't have our crit nerfed, it's just the attack nerf. So it is whatever. I think we'll put a stack of the burn on, and we'll see, because we got 2 stacks now. So this should definitely kill now. So Velzard, 11.8. Fire Milim, 16, and then he's dead anyways. So we did that turn 6, so it worked even better, technically, even though we had orbs nerfed for half of the fight. So there we go. There's an orange team, so that should be all of the missions done as far as those are concerned, but we can come back and check out one other team to use that's more free-to-play friendly, because we also need to beat it one more time. Alright, the last team we're going to use is more of a free-to-play friendly team, mostly. We do have, Protector Milim, who is a summonable unit, but she's old now. Oh, almost a year, actually. And then we have the free-to-play Water 1.0 Ranga, the free-to-play Fire 1.0 Shuna, who changes greens to blues. We have Dark Xion again to buff crit damage, of which we're not really critting on this team, but she's here for an orb change for funsies. And then Water Shuna, who is not free-to-play, but she is available to pick up in the coin shop, and she is one of my second highest recommendation in that shop, so that's why I'm going to use her. And then we have free-to-play Gapta, right? So we should just be stacking water damage on Ranga, Shuna, and Gapta, and then using the Shuna alt buff, and that's pretty much it. And just trying to get stacks of Milim with the 3 orb changers here. So yeah, let's see how this goes as well. So, I don't know if we have defense skills on this team. I know we have attack skills, but we can check it out. I think Ranga actually has a defense skill or 2. And we'll definitely have points, because, the starting hand is going to work in our favor for blues and getting, Milim ready to go. So, let's just go ahead and check those skills real fast. So, yeah, Ranga has a defense skill. We have a heal skill, okay. Yeah, so we can just use Ranga's skill twice, and we'll get that mission done. We'll get this, and we'll get the crit damage, or this counterattack one twice, and that'll be the 2 attack skills. We have the orb change right here, turn 1, so we're just going to run it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Alright, 28, 25, 36. Alright, so there we go. Water doing a little bit extra damage. 7,500. And now we get... okay. That's certainly an interesting hand right there. Also, not much we can do about it. Sure. We're just gonna treat it as a throwaway. We'll do this. We'll just get the stack on our 2 strongest water units, and then we'll just send all these Shuna orbs and not have to worry about anything really. Yeah, it'd be nice if we had, Water Rimuru, but for some reason, free-to-play Water Rimuru is not on Tempest Elite, which makes, a whole butt-ton of sense. But hey, I'm not a developer. Alright, okay, the game is trolling now. So, whatever. Shuna can change those, we could change, so we can get a 5-hand of blues. We'll see how that goes. And, yeah. And then we'll bring Ranga back in from, so he can get these stacks instead of, Fire Shuna, who's not going to benefit at all. So, 2 stacks of Milim right here. Ranga is nerfed, so he's not going to do the most, but Shuna and Gapta will be looking pretty good. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Awesome, 93 points coming back, almost another Milim. Doing 8,300 on a crit, so cool. And, okay, game, why won't you work with me? Alright, let's get a... Jeez. Alright, we'll just do this then. We'll just try and get some natural blues. Alright, thank you very much. Alright, so let's do a stack of Milim. 3 stacks right there. And then we'll use some skills. So, this will be our second attack skill, our first defense skill. So counterattack rate down, and then his pierce resistance and guard power, which doesn't really matter all too much. And then we'll get him out of here for... yeah, because we already used the stack. Get him out of here for Shuna, so she can change that 1 green orb. Oh, Gopta has an attack skill as well. It's the pierce power and wind attack buff, which will do just so much for this team. Alright, and yeah, we'll do this because this will give us extra ult gauge on the blues. It's a blue focus team. It only works on Gopta and Xion for getting the crit damage because they're physical, but whatever. It's not like we're actually going to crit anyways. Max points, another Milim, so that's looking good. And Shuna's 200% orb does 13.5. Alright. Decent damage. Alright, they have been attack nerfed, which is unfortunate, because I kind of wanted to launch it, but oh well. So, let's do your orb change. So we've used 2 attack skills now. We need to use 1 more defense skill, which I think we'll be able to do. I don't know if we'll kill, though. That's the thing. So, let's get you out. We'll use your orb change again. We'll use this buff just for funsies to give us more skill points in case we don't actually kill here. And then we'll bring Ranga in. And we'll have enough points to use his defense skill again. There we go. And then 1 more stack. I didn't use the ult buff on Shuna, but well, it's fine. It's whatever. She's attack nerfed anyways. Alright. 215 skill points back, though. That's really nice. And we got another Milim. So, 8,000. Awesome. Shuna does 21,900. That's a little better. 5,000, 2,800, because he is physical and not magic. Shuna is magic, so she's getting that extra buff. Alright, that's a decent hand right there. Except we're binded, so we can't actually do anything about it. That is not a decent hand anymore. Alright, Milim. Stack that damage. We'll try and get these Gopta orbs out. Alright, guard, whatever. Cool. Alright, so let's get you out of here. You're getting a little low. So let's do this orb change, and then we'll use the Xion orb change because it's cheaper. Alright. Cool. Okay, not cool. There we go. Oh, almost 2 more Milims. Alright, we're doing a lot less damage now. Although that is Xion. So, 14.6. Got a Xion ult. That's fine and dandy. There's another attack nerf. Let's get another stack on. I don't want to have Ranga up front anymore. He's getting a little low for my taste. So we'll just do this. Alright, Xion does 4,000. We're really slowing down. We were doing okay, and then we started doing not okay. Because I couldn't send full hands of blues. Alright. Alright, can we kill here? I would really much like to kill here. Alright, and then we'll bring you back in for Xion. We'll get that 1 last orb change. That costs 100 points. And then we'll bring Ranga in and get 1 more stack. And we can use the ult buff now because it does have that water resistance down. That'll help us do extra damage. Yeah. Alright, let's see if we can knock it out of the park here. Turn 10. Okay, cheeky counter, thank you. Another cheeky counter, thanks a bunch. Does this kill here? It does kill, alright, there we go. Everyone lived. Didn't do it under 9 turns, but hey, it's mostly free-to-play team, and they do have good stats, so relatively. But if it's what you got, it's what you got. So now that all the missions are done, we can then go check out the shop. So let's go ahead and accept this last mission, and we'll take a look. So hold on, I have to do some math real fast. Alright, so now that we've completed every single mission alongside, you know, our normal clears, we've got 22,660, and this will vary just a little tiny bit based on how much each stage gives you as far as normal completion, but you're gonna need at least 37,500 to get what I would personally consider the most important things out of the shop, which would be the shards right here, so Protector and Battle Shard, alright? The Platinum Hammer and the Gold Hammers are more important. If you need these other hammers, then you're going to need to farm a little bit more. The Grindstones are going to be good, even because, you know, we have that Grindstone grind event right now, but, I mean, these are quote-unquote free, right? And then down here we have EX Rocks. You can get 15 of these, so it's 1,500 each. That's pretty good. And then we have the Rainbow Rocks down here. So Rainbow Rocks, EX Rocks, Platinum Gold Hammers, and the Shards are what I would consider most people purchase out of the shop. Everything else in here is subjective and up to you. I don't personally buy 4-star motes. I know I should, and I should probably awaken a lot of 4 stars, but I just don't. I just don't care. Vitality potions, if you want to grind tower because you need coins to exchange for normal stamina potions, totally viable. If you're a newer player, you know, bronze and silver hammers are going to be good for you. Reforged stones, I mean, I guess you can get 10 each of the cores if you're really running low, which I kind of need win cores because I only have 26, so I might pick those up and once I grind it some more. And then everything else is pretty easily grindable. So that is it. The missions, you have to beat it, I think, 200 times, I think? No, 100 times, and you get all 150 of the anniversary medals. So you'll definitely, if you parallel process it, you'll definitely have enough currency to clear out the important things. So these coins are good. These coins are free units. Please remember that. So I would maybe prioritize this to get that massive buff of coins so you can pick up your next unit in here, especially if it's the hero, especially if it's, you know, Water Shuna or somebody else from the list of the video that I had. But yeah, coins are important, and it's only here for the rest of this month, and then it's going to go away, so gotta make the most out of it. But let me know what teams you guys use to beat this event down in the comments. But that's it from me. Take it easy, and I'll see you later.